Well, I'm joined now by Michal Baranowski, who is director of German Marshall Fund in Warsaw. He writes extensively on NATO, transatlantic relations and US foreign policy. Michal, thank you for joining us. So what does this mean in terms of rebuilding those transatlantic alliances for the US?
Well, it's great to be with you. There was a great sigh of relief, really, at the news of Joe Biden winning the presidency, because many experts and politicians worried that Trump's second term would really be near-death experience for the transatlantic relations. We had 4 years of President Trump attacking European Union, attacking even NATO, calling it obsolete. So really, there was a worry that the second term would not only make US much less favorable toward Europe, but also would turn Europeans away from the United States.
But there hasn't, I was going to say, there hasn't been a sigh of relief, has there, amongst all countries, has there? Not everyone's congratulated President-elect Biden yet.
Not with the same level of joy and sort of energy. You mentioned Russia, you mentioned China. There is also a little bit of a split within European countries. Few countries, including my own, sort of put a little bit of a hedging or hesitation in the congratulatory notes, saying that they look forward to the finality of the process. But I think the reality is settling down that it is going to be Joe Biden. It's very clear when you look at what's going on in the United States. And there is a great expectation that the relationship between US and EU will improve, that US is going to be a much more active player in NATO. And that's really a good news for Poland, for Germany, for France, really most of the countries in Europe.
And of course, President Trump has shocked many with his views on NATO. But do you think, even with the Joe Biden presidency, the US-NATO relationship will ever be the same as it was pre-President Trump?
Well, we look forward to the first summit where we'll be able to hear from Joe Biden himself. There's likely to be a first summit, sort of early summit already in March 2021. Whether it's going to be the same, I think the alliance is changing. Europeans clearly need to step up. And President Trump made this case often in pretty ugly words, words that were met with protest in Europe. President Biden is likely to speak in much more gentle way, but carrying a very similar message that Europeans need to step up for its own defense, and frankly, to also be able to help to United States stand up to much larger, perhaps even existential threats on the alliance eastern border with Russia, but also in US competition with China in Asia.
Okay, interesting times ahead indeed. Michal Baranowski.